You're not going to do it.
I'll do it.
No, you're not going to do it.
I'll do it. I'll bet.
Okay.
I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it.
Well, he's not going to do it.
Hello, could I speak to Bob Nutting, please? I'm on hold. Hello, Mr. Nutting? Bob? Yeah, this is Fred Rossano at Bucco Banter. Yeah, it's F-R-E-D. Yeah, R-O-S-S-A-N-O. Banter. No. Bucco Banter. Yeah, we'd like to know if you'd like to come on the show. Yeah, it's Bucco Banter. No, yeah, Bucco Banter. Hello? We got disconnected somehow, but I'm pretty sure he's going to call back. I'm pretty sure. He'll call back.
Okay.
He'll call back.
Okay.
Live from Studio 3, and then heavily edited for content, it's Bucco Banter. Introducing your hosts, originally from somewhere near Newcastle and now being a good husband and father when he's not running off by himself to PNC Park, it's Fred Rossano. A Pittsburgh Pirates fan since before he was born and still residing in his parents' basement when he's not sleeping in the Pirates clubhouse, it's Matthew Peaslee. Finally, he may look like a piece of plastic on a stick, but he has a life of his own, and he's the real expert on Bucco Banter. It's Pirate Panda!
Welcome back to Bucco Banter. My name is Fred Rossano, and this is
Matthew Peaslee.
And first of all, we'd like to apologize. We've been away a little too long here. I was on the DL, and Matt.
I've just been recalled for the minors. Had to work on some things, but we're both back, ready to continue on through the rest of the season. To make up for our absence, we have a special offer.
Big news.
If you want to go to a Pirate game for free, stay tuned to the end of the show where we have a trivia question coming up, and we'll give you the details on how you can win 2 free tickets to a Pirate game coming up later in the show.
Exciting.
So while we were away, the Pirates have kind of been on a roller coaster there. 8-game winning streak, which really paved them pretty well, almost in position to catch the Cardinals.
12 games over 500.
Only 4 games behind the Cardinals, but since then, the weekend series in Washington, D.C. didn't go our way.
Not so good.
Swept by the Nationals, outscored, I believe, 19-3. Just not exactly how you expected that to go at all.
No, it was not. It was not a good weekend, but that's baseball.
No.
I mean, they played so well. You start to get the idea of, this team can't lose. I mean, the pitchings, they had very timely hitting, but then you wind up. That's what baseball is. That's what Hurdle says. That's the way it goes. Mm-hmm. Sometimes you run into some good and they ran into some. Did they run into good pitching, or was it not as good hitting?
A little bit of,
combination.
Max Scherzer's the hottest pitcher in all of baseball right now. Not only did he no-hit the Pirates on Saturday, his previous start before that against the Mets or the Braves.
I think it was the Brewers.
Brewers, okay, yeah, because he was one hit away from a no-hitter again and struck out like 16. So he was riding a hot streak. The Nationals came into that series. They lost 5 of their last 8 games, so it was kind of time for the tide to turn for them too. I mentioned this on the last Bucco Banter, and you scoffed at it. But we had to beat up on bad teams, too.
No.
We swept the Phillies, took it to the White Sox. We beat the teams we should have beaten, and we ran into a very good team in the Nationals, who are still in a position like the Pirates are. I think they're in 2nd or 3rd place in the East, and they're hunting for that playoff spot, too, just like the Pirates are.
I still don't agree with that. The idea that these are major league teams, and they're I could see that in football or college football or something, but baseball, you just never know from one game to the next.
Yeah, but they still did their job. They did their job, and they're coming back. They got a nice homestand against the Reds and Braves, so hopefully to get things back on track. I mean, the pitching has been good, obviously, with what they did in that winning streak. 5 shutouts in 6 games.
They had some stats that weren't equaled since
1920 maybe.
Yeah,
It's a
1940s, or
yeah.
I can't even remember what it was now.
Such a great scoreless streak by our starting pitching. But then against the Nationals, they got beat up pretty well. A.J. Burnett gave up 14 hits.
But he still pitched.
And
That was still a good game.
Yeah, to
he
get him in position to
weathered
win
the
it.
storm.
But Charlie Morton's start on Sunday, the way he came back from his injury, 4 or 5 wins, he had like a 1.9 ERA. His ERA now is 3.9 something after giving up 9 runs and
It went up
one
over
inning.
2. It went up over 2.
Over 2 points.
Two points.
So that's just a series you need to put behind you, and hopefully they had an off day and they're getting back into the swing of things, and the hitting is what also needs to come around too.
Yeah, I think they'll be okay. It's just it just ran into, they seem to have trouble with guys that are rookie pitchers, like that guy, what was his name, Joe Ross.
Yeah.
I guess they're facing another one in the Cincinnati series.
They missed Cueto though, which is I guess a positive. But then again, Cincinnati could bring up somebody from the minors that could baffle the Pirates, that has happened this year and last year.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just have to wait and see. Again, they're above 500, second place. If the season somehow ended today, they'd be in the wild card game.
Yeah, or if they were in any other division, they'd be in first place.
Yeah, so that's
no, I think the Astros would be ahead of them, but.
And who would have saw that coming? The Astros doing what they did, but they're still in a good position. It's plenty long season ahead. Even the All-Star break is still a ways away. But I'm happy with what the Pirates are right now. Obviously, they can make improvements, but it's been a fun season thus far.
It sure has been. It's been a fun season. Matt and Fred, it's time for a new segment on Bucco Banter called 3 for 3, and take it away, Matt. And now it's time for 3 for 3. Leading off,
Matt Peaslee. With history repeats itself. So we know the Pirates got no hit by Max Scherzer on Saturday. Obviously, you would expect that to be a bad team to get no hit. The Giants no hit the Brewers earlier this year, but
you're just too much into this bad team, good team. It could happen to any team, any night.
But that's what I'm saying. Good teams. The Pirates had a very good team in 1971, right?
Yes,
they won the World Series. They were also no hit that year by Bob Gibson. So again,
I could have been at that game.
Really?
Could have been part of a scout trip. A friend of mine had asked if I wanted to go, and my parents forgot the game was that night, so I didn't go, and he got to see Bob Gibson.
History. But have you ever seen a no-hitter in person?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Saw the Francisco Cordova.
Ricardo Rincon,
and who hit the home run?
Mark Smith, solo shot, off an Aqua Fresh sign at Three River Stadium.
That was I was on a Saturday night. It was also Jackie Robinson night.
No, yeah.
It was. I think it was a sellout crowd that night, or pretty close to it. Very.
I remember just seeing the highlights of that. It was packed. I'd never seen Three Rivers that packed for a regular. But that 1997.
I think it was the first. It still may be the only extra inning no hitter.
Maybe because it was the first combined no hitter, but there's been there has been combined no hitter since then. But yeah, back in 1971, Bob Gibson no hit them, and the Pirates lost 11-0 to the Cardinals. But again, obviously go on to win the World Series. Not saying that could happen this year, but it could happen this year. Yeah.
History could repeat itself.
There's one for me.
My first is offense is struggling, and I go both. Sometimes it seems like they get 2 or 3 guys in their lineup that have like 3 or 4 hits, and then before you know it, the rest of those guys are 0 for 4. In between those guys that are 3 for 3 or 4 for 4. And I don't know. People are complaining now that their offense is just not coming around, and they were pretty lucky to get the wins that they did because of the pitching. But I still think that once they get into these games again after the All-Star break, or the offense will come around.
It has been inconsistent though, because
wasn't it last year too?
Yeah,
I think there was the same problem last year.
You start off the year slow, but then but they did score 11 runs against the White Sox last week, so. Against a really good rookie pitcher, the Carlos Rodon that White Sox just brought up. So the pop is there, but They just got to put it all together, and they still have left a lot on base, so it's not like that they are getting hits,
the worst,
but it's just the run production has been down entirely. But a little positive I got is Hart's on fire. Corey Hart, he provided the only runs in that terrible game last Sunday against the Nationals with a 2-run home run in the 9th inning, so he's still got some pop in him. I think he's 3 for his last 6 at bats, so he had that streak where he couldn't do anything.
But he started off the year really good pinch hitting.
But he's gotten some more time in the lineup the past 5 or 6 games, and he's done okay. So I don't know. He still probably doesn't belong on a major league roster.
No,
not on the starting lineup.
No,
often, but he might not be a bad bench guy anymore.
It still beats what they had last year.
Yeah.
My second is Pirate All-Stars, and I know you from the top. You got to say obviously Garrett Cole.
I think he could start for the National League in an All-Star game.
Beyond that, I'd say AJ Burnett is probably going to be on it. As far as position, actually Melanson, leading the league in saves. Probably as far as position players, McCutcheon's really turned it around. Marte is in the conversation, and
I'd say maybe even Cervelli.
And Cervelli, Cervelli sort of crept up on everybody, and they were sort of down on him and his ability to throw out runners. Now he seems to have turned that around, and his average is, I think he's leading the league as far as
he doesn't have enough at bats, but he's the only Pirate batting above 300.
But that's borderline too, because you have you got a lot. You can only have so many catchers, or have so many position players.
But again, the Pirates are a good team, and they deserve to have 4 or 5 guys go to the All-Star game.
But at least it's not like the Royals where they just have made it a mockery of it.
Again, I have no problem with that. I think that's pretty cool.
Let's move on.
Okay. My last one is Glasnow's rough comeback. One of the Pirates' top pitching prospects, Tyler Glasnow, was out for about 2 or 3 weeks. Altoona Curve player, had that foot or ankle injury, but he made his first rehab start with the West Virginia Black Bears, the new team down in Morgantown, and I was able to go down there for that. Pretty exciting. 4-hour game, though, which was 22 combined runs.
Oh, they started a bunch of their draft picks.
I got to see Kevin Newman, Kevin Kramer.
Newman and Kramer could be the second
they are.
Shortstop.
They're the double play combination. But it was pretty cool for baseball fans down there to see just a professional team. But Tyler Glasnow created a lot of buzz down there for him making that start, but he only lasted an inning and a third. Gave up a couple hits, walked a guy, hit a guy. So I don't think that contributes to what his foot or ankle problem was, but they're going to keep him down there for at least one more start before he gets back on his plan with Altoona.
Take it slowly. He's their top pitcher, not only just in the Pirate organization, but among the top in all of baseball. Yep. My last one is right field problem. Now, a lot of people were down on the Pirates at the beginning of the year when they traded Travis Snyder, and I was sort of lukewarm to that because I figured, Polanco's going to be he's going to be the right fielder of the future, and that's one heck of an outfield there. And he sort of had a roller coaster ride too. Of he's doing well, stealing bases.
He's 5 for his last 31 at bats, which isn't good. But he has been reaching on fielders' choices. Because he can ground one to the left side and beat it out.
Yeah.
And if there's a guy on first.
I think he won that game the other day when he grounded out to second base and got that third run home against the White Sox.
You expect more out of him.
Yeah, I don't know whether it's and they're starting in with him too. Like the thing that I hate about Alvarez, they're benching him against left-handers, and I can't stand that, especially a guy like him who's still that young. Yeah. Again, though, you had the opportunity to get 2 left-handed starting pitchers possibilities that they got off the Orioles, and he's done okay with the Snyder has with the Orioles, but if you have that opportunity, if Polanco would have done well, you're basically saying that you passed up the opportunity to give up a fourth outfielder for 2 possible starting pitchers somewhere down the road. Yeah,
and even Snyder's still kind of like the Orioles' 4th outfielder. I know he's getting more starts than he had in Pittsburgh last year, but he's still not the regular guy.
No, he isn't. But overall, again, I think they're liking the idea of moving Harrison and moving those guys around.
And Tabata getting some playing time.
And Gong.
Yeah, Gong. So I like the, I guess you can call it depth or just versatility of most of the lineup that the Pirates use on a nightly basis. So we're 3 for 3, both batting 1,000, and now it's time for your questions on Ask the Experts.
Ask the experts. Ask the experts. Ask the experts. Ask the experts.
And now it is time for the extremely, positively, very, very popular.
This is the most
Ask
popular.
the Experts.
People will just fast forward to the beginning to get to Ask the Experts. So they want to see if we ask.
And by the way, if you notice, we've got our thinking caps on.
I like this one from the basement right here.
Yes.
Right? Yep. All right.
We're very cool looking right now and very smart.
We'll see how smart you are with this first question.
Okay.
What is the Pirates' biggest weakness? Sent in by the Geek of Steubenville. Thanks, Geek.
Boy. I don't know. It would. I would think most people would say right now the way they're hitting would be their offensive, the offensive struggles that they've had. But for some reason, I'm thinking I still think they're starting pitching or maybe a middle reliever somewhere in there. I'm a little bit worried about Hughes and still about Jeff Locke and Morton.
Especially,
and it kind of, and even Burnett, is he going to have the second half that he had has had in the first half? I think he can, and I think they're being very careful with him not to throw too many pitches. But I think overall, I would be more concerned about maybe just still getting maybe another starting pitcher in there, because even down in the minor, I know what's his name,
Clayton Richard.
He's doing well.
I'd like to see what he could do before they trade
make
for
a trade.
Yeah, and I'm hoping that's hopefully in the next week or two they give him a shot.
But I think that people think that the offense is. I still think it's going to come around and they'll be fine. Let me ask you your first question.
Question number 2.
Ooh, did Jose Tabata lean into that pitch from Max Scherzer, the Mick of Mingo, Mickey Mantle living in Mingo?
Yeah. So he did not lean into that pitch, and here's why. If he leaned into it, it would have been over the plate, and the umpire could have called it a strike. It was a ball. It wasn't a perfect pitch, which is why Max Scherzer did not get a perfect game. He did not attempt to get out of the way of it, but
his job is to get on base.
Yeah, and it was a great at bat. He fouled off 5 or 6 pitches with 2 strikes on him before doing that, and it was a ball. It was inside. It was a pitch that Scherzer admitted that he missed on. I think he wanted to be a slider and he wanted it to cut across, but even though with 2 strikes and I think it was a 2-2 count, why are you throwing inside like that? Just try to make him chase away or chase in the dirt.
He had 2 or 3 fouled off 2 or 3 in a row there. Had some pretty good swings on the ball, but you have these idiot people saying the next day they were surprised that Tabata was in the game, and they were even more surprised that who was pitching. I can't even remember now.
No, but they didn't hit him.
Yeah, that they didn't throw at him. I mean, what is that serving?
There's people saying, that doesn't Tabata know about the unwritten rules, and you got to give that to the pitcher.
No way.
He's a baseball player trying to win a game, even though you're down by 6.
If that would have happened in the second inning, nobody would have said a word about it.
Yep. But I was listening intently to that game. It would have been cool to see a perfect game, maybe, but not against the Pirates and not in that situation. But if it was Garrett Cole pitching and say the Nationals, Wilson Ramos or somebody did that, I'd be a little bit concerned, but still, as a neutral baseball fan, I think you got to look at that and say, he did not do that on purpose. I mean, he might have done it on purpose, but he did.
Well, he did. He sort of went back and then went like that, and
even though it was a slider, it was still coming in at 90 miles per hour. You can't really react too fast to what's going to do.
And the umpire, if he makes that decision, that he would have. I think I watched a college World Series game where that same thing happened, and the guy really leaned over the plate. I think it was from Florida or somebody, and the umpire immediately said no. He leaned right into that. And he just called it a ball.
I feel like Jason Kendall, he'd be a guy that would lean over and draw as much contact on his elbow as he can, but not Tabata. And I heard somebody say that Jose Tabata went up there pinching, and he probably didn't even know there was a perfect game going on. He's probably just sitting on the bench not paying attention. Who knows? Your question. Question number 3. Will the Pirates ever trade for a guy like Cueto or Hamels? Sent in by Cindy of Avella.
I'm going to have to say no.
Yeah.
I think they want to stick to the plan. Although last year, remember they were contemplating getting John Lester, and that was,
Yeah.
I guess there was a lot more to that. Even Huntington even admitted to that they just couldn't match up with the players they wanted in return. Although Johnny Cueto would look really nice, even though of the Cueto. But
it'd be pretty funny too, him coming over to our side. But winning with prospects or winning with their own players is what's gotten the Pirates here thus far.
I agree. When you start to go outside of what your goals are or what your plan is, then that can backfire on you. It might backfire the other way, but still, would you rather have a team that? Well, if you look at the team back in 1992, you knew at that time that was going to be it because the team was going to break up and these guys were going to sign elsewhere. But would you rather have a team that's the way they're looking at it is be competitive year after year?
Right.
They may not win it, or they may finish with in a wild card spot. Would you rather have that or win it one year than wind up depleting your minor league system?
And that's what they've said since Huntington and Coonley came over here in like 2007 or 2008. That's the same plan, and they're sticking to it because it's worked this far. And the only big trade they made at the deadline 2 years ago when they got Bird and Buck from the Mets, they gave up Dilson Herrera, mid-level prospect back then, but now he's the Mets starting shortstop, and it's probably going to be the Mets starting shortstop.
Yeah, he's not the Mets.
He's in the minor, or he
hasn't played that much, but
he's probably going to be. He's probably going to be with the Mets for a while now. Yeah. But
they made a good run at it. I mean, that was the year they could have beaten the Cardinals in that second round.
I wouldn't want to give up Josh Bell.
No,
for somebody you're only going to get for 3 months.
And
last question.
Your last question. What concerns you more? The offense not coming around or the starting pitching fading? Jody of Bel Air.
You asked this question this time last week, and we say, it's got to be the offense because the pitching is, you can count on them no matter who it is. But the way the Pirates pitched over the weekend and with Locke and Morton kind of falling back, and even Burnett not pitching as strongly as he did in his first couple starts, that kind of concerns me because I want to win with pitching, and I want to have depth at starting pitching. I mean, Garrett Cole probably will continue this as much as he can, but even he's going to have a bad outing once in a while. Mm-hmm. I think every starting pitcher is going to have a bad outing once in a while because they're out
human.
there so often. But
I don't know as bad as Morton.
Yeah,
had, but
again, if you throw out Morton, and if Morton does that his next two starts, then it's really concerning. Right. But right now, I still think you have to hit the pitching won for them in that 8-game winning streak when the offense didn't come around all that much. So I don't know. I think I'm 50-50 on that one, where I'm not as concerned with the offense as most people. I'm a little bit less concerned with the pitching than most people. So yeah,
it's a long season.
Yep.
Coming up, don't forget about your chance to win two free tickets to a Pirate game on Community Night. Thank you for watching Bucco Banter. Drive home safely, and don't forget, coming this fall, I'll be starring on The Voice. And now the moment you've all been waiting for. Matt, tell them how they can win these 2 tickets to a Pirate.
Right. It's the Bucco Banter Trivia Contest. And here is your trivia question. Name the first pitcher to throw a no-hitter against the Pirates. Please tell us the name of that pitcher and the year that no-hitter occurred. Here's a hint. Fred Rossano was in 3rd grade back then. Yeah, it was a little bit before that.
Yeah.
A little before that.
It was a long time ago. They've been around for 127 years.
You're right. So here's how you can enter to win those tickets. Be sure to email us at ask@buccobanter.com or tweet us at Bucco_banter on Twitter. Please tell us the name and the year of the no-hitter, and you will be entered into a drawing. All eligible entries will then be picked at random, and one lucky winner will be the winner of these 2 free tickets. And Fred, tell us a little bit more about what these tickets include.
The game will be July 3rd against the Indians, and everybody wants to see them beat the Indians.
Oh, yeah.
Or I guess actually, if you're an Indians fan, you can win too.
Mm-hmm.
Also, you will get free T-shirts, and they will be in the all-you-can-eat seats. And Matt, for people like you, that doesn't mean that you can eat the seat, but you can actually shove all kinds of hot dogs, hamburgers, French fries.
Just make sure
pop.
you chew the food.
Chew your
first.
food properly. But it has to also be. These are not on the buses there. You have to drive yourself to the game, so you have to find your own transportation to the games. Again, that's July 3rd against the Indians. You get the free T-shirts in the all-you-can-eat seats, and it's your drive your own transportation to the game.
Very good. Remember, that's ask@buccobanter.com or on Twitter at @bucco_banter. Thanks for watching.
We are not eligible to win.
Unfortunately.
See you next time on Bucco Banter.
That was you.
We're having trouble, folks.
That was
With the, what do you call that?
the transition.
The transition from one segment
After
to another.
I did a great transition last week.
Please send us your transition secrets. You know what? You need to start making a little bit more positive
Noise?
faces.
positive feedback.
Positive faces.
All right.
Does Jonathan watch KC Undercover? Ask him if he watches KC Undercover.
What is Casey on
It's
the
a show on
Is
Disney.
it a cartoon?
No, it's a show on Disney.
Do you watch it?
Yeah.
I used to watch iCarly and something in Alley.
Austin and Alley.
Austin.
Yeah.
Here's what's bad. You're talking about this. At least I have a 10-year-old at home.
I'm not old enough for the nightly shows. I'm still young enough to.
God, let's move along.